Stan Proko here with another episode of Proko. Since I started making these videos, the most commonly asked question has been, what kind of pencil do you use? I think it's time to make a video about it. I do have a specific pencil and a very specific way of sharpening it. I do this because I was trained that way at the Watts Atelier. I'll start by showing you how to sharpen a charcoal pencil and then go over all the other supplies that I use in my videos. I like to use the Conte 1710B as my go-to pencil. It's the black one with the gold ring. But I also like to use the Primo 59B and Wolf Carbon 6B. And there's a bunch of other options out there. They're all slightly different, and the best way to see the difference is to just try them out. They're not very expensive. The Primo and Wolf Carbons feel a bit more like drafting pencils compared to the Conte, and so I use them more for linear work. And the Conte is thicker and softer, so it's easier to be tonal and more painterly with it. I'm right-handed, so I control the blade with my right hand and hold the pencil in my left hand, like this. The first thing I'm going to do is expose about an inch of the charcoal, removing the wood. Push the razor forward with the left thumb and control the position and angle of the blade with the right hand. Take off thin pieces of the wood and rotate the pencil. Make sure not to go too deep. If you try to take off all the wood at the same time, you risk cutting into the charcoal. Keep rotating until all the wood is off and there's a smooth taper from the wood to the charcoal. Sometimes there will be a layer of glue still on the charcoal. Chip away at it to remove all the glue. Now let's focus on getting the charcoal to the right shape. Right now the charcoal has these sharp corners towards the top. What we want is a smooth taper to the point. If we have any rough edges or sharp corners on the side, the pencil won't work properly. We want a smooth taper so that we can use the side to shade smooth tones. I like to use sandpaper to soften the sides. One of these that you can get at most art stores works fine and fits in a pencil box. I prefer these larger blocks from Home Depot because you can clean and reuse them. Medium grit sandpaper works best. I use a forward and back or side to side motion while constantly rotating the pencil. When you first start sharpening the pencil this way, you'll probably break a bunch of them. That's okay, don't let it get to you. Take a deep breath and try again. It becomes much easier over time and you can actually get quite fast at it. Okay, let's try that again. And don't forget, wipe off the excess powder. When I come by to help one of my students and they give me a pencil with excess powder on it, I break. No, I don't actually do that. But don't forget to wipe. It gets all over the paper and you can't erase it. So there you have it. Now let's take a look at all the other supplies. First, the paper. I use smooth newsprint when I do studies because it's cheap and allows you to shade very smooth tones. It's important that you buy the smooth newsprint and not the rough. Nothing wrong with the rough, it's just that the smooth gets better details. The rough has some texture that breaks up the details a bit. Before you start drawing, make sure you're drawing on a thick stack of newsprint. This provides some cushion and gets smoother tones when you're shading. If you're getting towards the back of the pad, some of the texture from the cardboard will begin to show through. So constantly rotate the paper and make sure you're working on the top sheet. I do want to point out that newsprint is not archival. It will wrinkle and yellow over time if exposed to heat, light, moisture, and oxygen, which is pretty much everything. So I only use it when I practice at school, do studies, or film these tutorials. When I want to do a charcoal drawing that lasts, I use watercolor paper, and I'll usually choose the ones that are soft and cushiony. Or I'll use bristle paper with graphite pencils. I'm always trying out new types of paper, and I encourage you to do the same. To erase, I like a kneaded eraser because I can shape it to whatever shape I want, and I can use it to erase large areas or small details. It also doesn't fall apart while you're erasing, and you can knead it to clean it up a bit. You'll need either a clipboard, a piece of wood, or foam board with clips to hold the paper. Put the pad towards your knees and lean it against the table or back of a chair. Hold the pencil like a paintbrush, sit up straight, move from the shoulder, and you're ready to begin. Hey, have you seen my new app, Skelly, the posable anatomy model for artists? Go to proko.com/Skelly app or click this button to get it on iOS or Android. That's it. Thanks for watching, and thank you for being a premium member. If you're enjoying the course, don't be all selfish. Tell your friends. And if you want to subscribe to the Proko newsletter, go to proko.com/subscribe. Bye-bye.